Well, they can't possibly stay this hot, but this Yankee team has won 15 out of 16 games, and yesterday it certainly looked like they were going to lose, and the next thing you know, they have a stunned Cleveland, stunned them with a 3-run 8th inning. We are joined by Mike Axisa, who covers the Yankees for CBS Sports and riverablues.com, and all about the Yankees here on 104.5, the team ESPN Radio. Mike, we're the home of Yankee baseball. Welcome to Big Board Sports. Roger Weiland and Chris Honorado.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. What can you say? I mean, there's that lineup right now. I mean, there is no weak link top to bottom. You intentionally walk Giancarlo Stanton. You get to Gleyber Torres, 21 years old, just called up on April 22nd, had the home run on Friday night. And what's he do? He delivers a walk-off win for you yesterday. I mean, they have an answer, Mike, it seems like right now in every spot.
Yeah, and, you know, the last few games, there's been some moments where it's like, all right, the Yankees they're going to lose here, and this is, you know, they've been playing well of late, and they're going to lose. It's not the end of the world. You think back to the finale against the Twins and the last game in Houston, and then yesterday it was just like, well, the Yankees already won the series. They lose here, it's not the end of the world. But they come back to win each game. It's just like there's a resiliency about this team, as kind of silly as that sounds for a team that's won this much. They're not. There's this resiliency. They could take a punch. They're not going to, you know, oh, we're going to lose here and this is going to be a big problem, and they'll spiral into a 3-game losing streak or whatever. They're a deep lineup. They come to the park every day. They believe they're going to win, and you could just see that there's so much talent on the roster from top to bottom. And you look at Gleyber Torres, he's hitting ninth, and he probably deserves to be hitting ninth because he's the rookie who's been in the big leagues for 2 weeks. There's just so much more talent here now than there was even just 2 years ago.
And you know what, Mike, even you go to their pitching staff, and I know they can hit, but the pitching has been awfully good. And you go to Jordan Montgomery, who's injured and is going to be out for several more weeks. And all of this, even if they would have lost yesterday, you would have put a positive spin on the loss because Domingo Germán throws a masterpiece yesterday. And that would have been a positive, even if they got beat. Everyone probably would have said, boy, maybe they've locked into this Domingo Germán and they don't have to go too far down the road to replace him. They've got the guy right here.
Yeah, you know, it seems like it's almost become cliche to say the Yankees, they have trouble with their pitching, because we're so used to saying it from like 2004 through like 2008 or really even 2010, 11, 12, and then it's always been, well, the Yankees need some pitching, and I get it. And there are some injury concerns in the rotation. You know, Sabathia does have a bad knee. Tanaka still, everybody's kind of waiting for his elbow to give out, and Montgomery's hurt now. But the Yankees, last time I checked, which was 2 days ago, they were top 3 in the AL and ERA, and they allowed the 4th fewest runs in baseball last season. They could pitch, and when you have a guy like Domingo Germán sitting in the minors as your 6th starter, a guy like that is a pretty good option to have sitting there. And no, he's not going to throw 6 scoreless innings every time out, but you can see that this is not just like some kind of journeyman that had stashed in AAA. This kid's legit, and when you have talent like that sitting, it just speaks to the depth of the organization where, look, if we lose Jordan Montgomery to injury, we got a pretty good arm sitting down there waiting to come up. It's not going to be this guy. We need him to hold us over for a couple of weeks until we make a trade. No, Germán's someone who could be in the rotation, be a legitimate option going forward.
Check out Mike Axisa on Twitter, simply at Mike AXISA, covers the Yankees for CBS Sports and riverablues.com. Mike, with the Red Sox series coming up, I know we do this every time. We get hyped for Yankees Red Sox no matter where it comes on the schedule, no matter what it is on the standings, but we're in the month of May. We're creeping up on Memorial Day here a little bit, and only one game separates these two teams. Yanks are red hot, obviously. Red Sox have cooled down but are still in first place. How much of an emphasis are both these teams going to put on this series?
I think there'll be more emphasis than usual. I mean, ultimately, look, it's still the first few weeks of May here. These teams are going to meet, I think it's still 14 more times after this series. There's a long season to go. But I think both teams are looking forward to this because, look, they're going to be the top 2 teams in the division. They're going to be neck and neck pretty much all season. It's not so much like a litmus test, but it's a good opportunity to just kind of take it to your rival, get an advantage in the division, kind of stake claim to dominance of the division. You know, I think there's going to be more hype than you know, the series actually means something, because ultimately it's just 3 games of 162, and these teams are going to play a lot more. But this is a good chance for both teams to kind of stem the tide a bit, keep the other team at bay, take control of the division, and just feel pretty good about where they're heading. Because if you're the Red Sox, you come into the series, you want to beat the Yankees because the Yankees are playing so well. Whereas the Yankees, you've erased the 7.5 game deficit in 2 weeks. You want to complete it, get in first place, take control of the division, and have it for the rest of the year.
We're talking with Mike Axisa, who covers the Yankees for CBS Sports and RiverAvBlues.com. And then what about Greg Bird? I mean, how close is he to coming back? And to even add another bat to this lineup, is he close?
He's probably about 2 or 3 weeks away. He's supposed to play in his first minor league game today, and it's a slow process. It's not like he's going to go out and play 3 games and come back. He basically has to go through spring training. So he's going to play a good 2 or 3 weeks here. They're going to want him to play back-to-back 9-inning games in the field to make sure he's feeling good. So, the original timetable had him coming back in mid to late May, and that is still the case. But he is on the mend, and that's another bat they're going to add to the lineup. And one thing I think the last week has shown when they were in Houston, and also this weekend against the Indians, when there's a power right-handed pitcher on the mound, the Yankees could have some trouble scoring runs. Verlander shut them down, Charlie Morton shut them down, Clevenger yesterday. It seems like there's a need for another lefty bat in the lineup, and Greg Bird could be that lefty bat. He's still a few weeks out, but he's getting closer, and that's a good thing.
You know what's funny, Raj? I know he hasn't any platinum sombreros lately, but with all this winning going on, nobody's really complaining about Giancarlo Stanton too much.
Right. No doubt. And
yeah.
You're right. And we were on Stanton, and I think some people might still be on him a little bit, but the way this lineup is right now, it's no one's getting mistreated by any of the Yankee fans.
Yeah, and I think with Stanton, he's always been a streaky hitter. And I think that, he was with the Marlins all those years. Fans saw him go through the ups and downs where he's new to the Yankees. Fans maybe didn't really pay as much attention to him. They haven't seen him go through a stretch like this and then come out of it and hit the cover of the ball for 2 months. And I think it's just he's going through one of those streaks, and he is also adjusting to a new team and a new league and all that stuff. And he's been better of late. And I think it's just a matter of time until he gets really locked in. He had the double the other night to set up the walk-off hit. I think it was Friday night. He had the 2 home runs in Houston. He's, you look at yesterday, I was watching the game yesterday. They pinch hit Stanton, and everybody on social media saying that the Indians should just pitch to Stanton because he's terrible and he's going to make it out. And, that's insane. Of course they're not going to pitch to him because the guy could end the game with one swing. Once he gets going, the Yankees are going to be – they're already leading the league in runs, and once they get him going, they're going to be just out of this world offensively.
Mike, appreciate a few minutes here on Big Board Sports, and I'm sure we'll be back in touch. Got a long way to go to the finish line, but we are the home of the Yankees, and this team right now has it going in every department.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Mike.